Hey, what's up? It's Marc Mozart. How is everybody doing?
Together with
David, the intern, of course.
David, the intern, yes.
In the house. And we had a long meeting today around the current content strategy, how much to post, what to do on the different social media channels. And I mean, our partner Toby put all this down on this whiteboard right here.
Yeah.
And I thought it's definitely worth it to quickly go through the different channels and what's going on in 2020. So we have our situation is that I've started growing a community on Facebook, both Facebook and Instagram around 2013. Facebook more seriously in the beginning than Instagram because
that's how it was.
Yeah, you wouldn't really know how Instagram would end up and where it is now. So we have an existing community, and we are always creating content and plan a lot of stuff. And sometimes we do really complicated stuff that we film an entire 12-hour seminar, then break it down in 1 minute content pieces, clips and stuff. So sometimes it's a lot of work to create content, but there's also a way to make it less complicated. And my general thought in the last couple of days was, hey, look at the situation. We have a community that knows us, likes us. And from a commercial standpoint, we have products. I mean, we're creating new products all day long, and you know, we can't talk about everything, but we work on some really exciting stuff that we spend a lot of time with. But at the same time, we have existing products. So why not, when you have a community and you have existing product, communicate around what you do, what your products, the value your products provide, and do the basics first, and communicate with the people, which includes Facebook groups where we have a group of people who already bought the book, and we got very high value conversations there because they are in the know already, and we can talk, like I can talk to Chris Lord-Alge because they're really good people who know what's going on in audio.
Let me just really quick, if you're looking or reading along here, if you can, the way we kind of broke it down is split it up into all the different platforms that we are using, or that our customers, our followers are using right now. And so we started over here with Instagram, then it goes over to Facebook, then podcasts, and some of the things that we don't spend as much time on. That's further over there. Then what's a little bit special, I think, about the platform that you've built is that it's both in English and in German. So there's kind of the German community, and they kind of have their own.
They live on separate. They live on separate Facebook pages and Instagram handles.
Which is why we have English here and Deutsch right there, German. And so we split that up, and then we also split it up into the different mediums that communicate with our followers. For example, Instagram, most of you might know this, stories, then the Instagram feed, which is just regular posts, and Instagram TV. And that system we just kind of threw at all the different platforms and then put content on it. What do we want to post? Then how much do we want to post, which is an incredibly important question. And then who's going to post it, because we have a team here, so we kind of have to organize it in a way. Marc, for everybody who thinks that, man, I can't post more than one photo a day or more than one video a day because my followers will get annoyed.
That's the biggest lie out there, because between you posting something and the user, there's an algorithm who makes sure that the user gets the maximum value. So we have a bunch of accounts, and we also do social media as a service for some clients.
Different companies,
I have another little thing which started as a hobby, but it's becoming a business now. And because I wanted to grow my Instagram fast for the new channel, I've been posting like 9 pictures a day.
At least, yeah.
And I put the right hashtags to it.
Yep.
And I was surprised because it absolutely worked. I had days where I had 100 new followers. People really
Organically.
Organically. No ads, because this business ain't making money yet.
Yeah.
So we can't spend money.
Also, I think it's a lie if people say that organic reach on Facebook and Instagram is dead. It's definitely decreased over the years.
Yeah.
But there's ways to break through, and from what we figured out, that's not really subjective quality most of the time for something you think, oh man, this piece of content is going to do great. But let's post 8 times a day and see what sticks.
Yeah, so because we are trying stuff for different channels, and I figured out, hey, you can post 9 pictures a day. Yeah. Maybe I'll try 30 next step. Of course, you get the problems where you get the pictures from. That's
the creation of the content.
The creation of the content. Mm-hmm. I have to say that pictures are easier than videos. I was very much in love with the format 1-minute video, and some of you might have seen content with me and Chris Lord-Alge where we talk about mixing topics, and because we wanted people to be able to read along with the conversation, we put captions in the video, and even nice emoticons and stuff like that. A 1-minute video like that takes a lot of time to create. So I couldn't create 9 of these videos a day. I
mean, maybe you can, but then you won't be sleeping a lot, and you won't be doing anything else. And
as I just said, we have a lot of stuff that we do. But on the other hand, it's really important to know that if this is the most essential thing that we and everybody else who wants to communicate about whatever, whether they have a business, products to sell, whether they have services like mixing, mastering, whether they are an artist and they want to get attention for their new song, whatever it is, these basics this is the most important thing you can do for your business, hobby, or whatever which you want to get attention for. And it's not going to happen in 5 minutes a day.
Nope. It's not going to happen in maybe half a year. It probably will take some time. Some people break through quicker than others, but in general, it's going to take some time.
And you have to invest a lot of time every day. How much do you figure does this plan take us every day? Like 4 team members?
4 team members. So what Toby tried to do is just put kind of like more or less value on every single task that we have here. And it came out to around 3 to 4 hours per team member.
Yeah.
And we're not talking fancy stuff here, like produced YouTube videos that take really long time to edit and script and anything. This is just what we see as the base that we want to put out on these platforms to run a business. 3 to 4 hours a day. So
without including any of the complicated stuff, the basics, the stuff it's the stuff that we think is effective.
That we think for us is important.
Time best spent.
And for if you're an artist and a producer, then maybe Spotify will be higher up on your list, or SoundCloud if that's where a lot of the culture is happening. But that's what we see is important for us. So here we have Instagram, just to go through it real quick because there's a lot of stuff on here. Stories, more personal stuff, a lot more quantity. It's just 15 seconds. Then, and jump in here if you got something to add.
Yeah, I mean, stories, just let me jump in. I think can be pretty easy because you do something which might be interesting or not. Give people a quick update, what you're up to, and and you can fill the story pretty quickly. Don't bore people, but also they follow you, so they are interested in what you're doing. You know, I can show people, hey, look, this is the EQ setting, and I'm using this compressor and this or that. People want to know this, otherwise they wouldn't follow me. So do it. Hey, you got followers, so show them.
And the thing is, Instagram also decides which some of the people that you follow are further ahead in your story feed.
Yeah.
So the first person you click on is probably somebody who Instagram thinks you might find interesting.
Most relevant for you.
Yeah. And if there's somebody that I haven't interacted with in ages and I never look at their content, they're probably going to be further back. That's the whole algorithm thing again.
Yeah.
Also, same thing goes for the feed. Like we said before, it's very consumer-centric. It's not creator-centric. So if you want to see something, you'll see it. IGTV is a little bit of a different game, I would say. It still shows up in your feed, but I think it's consumed in a very different way because it's longer.
I've seen recently that, and this is just for the moment, this could change any day.
All of this could change any day.
Pictures are a focus for Instagram. So make sure in the background you have some content creation, some pictures. Like we got some cool gear around here and people send us gear, manufacturers, we test stuff. So why not make a photo of each piece of gear, give some additional value in the copy. Context, what's special about this? Why do you use this or that compressor EQ?
Why don't you use this?
Why don't you use it? Is this good? Does this suck? How's the customer service of this or that company?
Recent example. Yeah, so that's Instagram. Both of our channels, German and English, they're very similar. Some small details, but let's not go into that right now. Let's go over to Facebook, which...
Maybe a little reason why I have separate channels in English and German. Sure. Because I am German. You are not, you're Austrian, but you're native German speaking.
Yeah, more or less.
No, there is a special relationship, and we do a bit more content in German. So
just because it's native to,
And there are definitely Germans who have a hard time listening to English.
Yeah.
Especially my English.
Well, it's also very specific. It's not like, it's just casual talking. A lot of the time it goes into detail of pieces of gear.
Yeah.
And theory.
We talk about German rappers.
Yeah, so it's like culturally it's different. That's just the thing. So that's why IG, Instagram, and Facebook, English, German, and pretty much everything else.
It proved to be very efficient. As far as sales and revenue goes, Germany is right up there together with the United States for us.
Which might be surprising, but it's also because, like you said, you have that connection with your German audience. All right, Facebook. What we use it for is what you're maybe watching right now if you're watching this live streams. That started as a very popular format on the German channels.
We only quickly touched on IGTV, but here's a good moment. This live video, once we're finished, will be stored on the phone and we can upload it to IGTV. There's a little distinction. Our English Instagram has more than 10,000 followers, so we can upload IGTVs longer than 10 minutes up to an hour.
60 minutes.
60 minutes. So anything long form that can go on YouTube or as a podcast can also go on IGTV. So Facebook also receives the pictures that we post on Instagram. They automatically go to Facebook, and we haven't really seen a problem in that as far as not being native on the platform. Sometimes we get more reactions for that same photo on Facebook, which also has to do with the fact that we got like 85,000 followers on Facebook. So all that works very well. There's a lot of stuff you can do on Facebook. You can put some random thoughts like you would on Twitter, on Facebook, and go into some discussions and stuff. So Facebook, pretty open, is I think it's the oldest of these platforms.
Maybe together with Twitter.
Yeah.
It's not Twitter is kind of like a side thing for us, but that's like the OG social media, I think.
Twitter is very weak in Germany. This is maybe one of the reasons. I was always aware, and I have some followers on there, and I might think about it, but right now we're thinking about like the really important ones for us, and as far as business, Facebook and Instagram are both equally important and have been for a while.
That's why they take up more than half of our board, but of course it keeps going. And another thing that I think you focused on very much in the past, and you saw that in also numbers and results, is podcasts.
Yeah.
Because what a podcast is, For us, most of the time, it's just the audio taken, for example, from this live stream.
Like what we're doing right now.
From this bracket here, Facebook.
David will receive the video file, and he will just how you say,
kind of like edit the front, the back.
Yeah.
Put some intro, outro music over it,
and put some plugins over the audio.
I got a preset, imported, exported, and got a podcast.
And it goes on the podcast feed. If you're afraid of starting your podcast, download the app called Anchor, ANCHOR. What you can do with it, you can basically on your phone press record, talk, and then press publish podcast, and it goes on Apple, absolutely. Spotify, everywhere. So that's couldn't be easier.
So I got it on my phone right here. They don't pay us or anything. Would be great, but they don't. So it's just
they're very powerful. Yeah. They got acquired by Spotify recently, and they can push your podcast to all the big podcast platforms.
So right now I'm recording something right here on my phone. I click on stop. That's recording on your phone. But you can do that with like any voice recording app.
You can upload an existing file, of course. But it's super, super simple. And I've seen when it comes to podcast, I know people who consume a ton. And I also know people who do not consume any podcasts. It has to do a little bit with your daily commute situation, I would say.
Yes.
Because I have a pretty long commute and I'm not using the car, so I'm on a train or bus. And pretty much I wear my headphones, AirPods actually all the time. And I have an extensive podcast not library, but lots of subscriptions, all topics that I really like, from music production, mixing, mastering. I listen to all the good
type stuff,
all the good stuff, business as well, digital marketing, what's going on in the world of investment and business and digital, what's the next big platform and stuff like this.
There's a podcast for everything.
Vintage cars.
Well, we're saying,
like stuff you personally like, and because I spent that long time on the train, I don't want to waste it. And it's also good in the morning to wake up, you know, to listen. I get inspired. I get a lot of inspiration for what we do here from podcasts. And
actually, we did a live stream before about podcasts.
Yeah.
So if you're seeing this on YouTube, we'll have a link down below. I don't know if we're going to link it on Facebook or something, but there's a podcast out there about podcasts.
Yeah.
If you're interested on our thoughts.
All I can say is it's growing like crazy at the moment.
Still.
And what's the superstar in America? The biggest podcaster. I mean, Tim Ferriss is one of them, but there's another one who's
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
That's like one of the OG early podcasters.
But he grew so big, and Elon Musk comes to his show.
It's mainstream at this point. Like it's a podcast, but which is still relatively new, I think, the format. But Joe Rogan is pretty much as mainstream as you'll get in podcasting.
He's a superstar. He's like bigger than the late night show probably at this point. So.
Yeah.
And maybe for business owners or an artist, the format is exciting. We have in the past sometimes invited guests to the studio, and especially if they were people who did stuff around gear, we got some really interesting people here. And we also went to places like the trade fairs, Musikmesse and stuff, and recorded interviews with the podcast, and really good people. Like it's not difficult.
And also it might be, if you're just starting out, doing kind of like the whole social media game, you haven't built up a ton of following, but still got a little something going on, might be easier to ask somebody, hey, can we do a podcast together, than just let's hang out.
Yeah.
So it's on like a more professional level.
Yeah.
All right. That was podcast, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. What else is there?
Next thing, NL.
Newsletter.
What does that mean? Newsletters. Yeah.
Email newsletter is kind of an old thing. But, you know, if you sell products, you have an email database, and everybody who bought my book, Your Mix Sucks, knows there's some little extras attached to it. I let people know that they can send me their tracks and get some free mix feedback. if I haven't gotten to some of them in the last couple of weeks, sorry, will still drop me the email again or remind me. We are going through it all the time. It's still valuable. The only problem is that people nowadays get so many emails. I mean, we're laughing sometimes when I go through I do not look at my email inbox for half a day, and I had 340 emails, and
we're crying about it.
Well,
more
it's mostly spam, because we have a contact box on the website where there goes a lot of automated bot spam and stuff. But this is the whole problem, because that makes email newsletters 80% go into some kind of, not spammer, but there's the Gmail promotions tab and stuff like that. Nevertheless, it's still good. It still works. It still can sell product or whatever you want to do.
But not only on the sales side of things, what we kind of want to try to do a little more is also kind of give people sort of a best of, because you might not have time to watch all of our videos all the time or look at all of our Instagram posts, but just some highlights or some important points that we feel are valuable throughout the week, put together in an email, reach through that.
Yeah, so if you have watched none of our stuff during the week, but you really like it, then if we gave you a newsletter of a summary of the best stuff with links, that can save you time again.
Yeah, because not everybody has time to watch a 40-minute video.
We see the podcast growing as well, even though we're not really posting on a regular basis.
Right now we're starting again because of this whole thing, but it was pretty inactive in terms of new content for a while, but we still have a steady stream of listeners.
Yeah, I have to say, when we first started with the German podcast, we did 12 episodes, and after 12 episodes, we hit #1 in the German Apple Podcast app on the music category. So if you're looking for a shortcut, maybe it's
12 episodes.
Yeah. Daily.
Right there. It's right there.
Daily, every day.
Yeah. And there we are again, quantity.
Yeah.
That's the whole theme throughout this thing.
What else?
YouTube. The thing with YouTube that's different from all of our other channels, it's that it's both English and German. That's just the way it is right now?
I was worried about that for a long time, but I learned, I'm trying to study, and I'm learning that YouTube is mainly search-based. So if you go on YouTube, there's a lot of entertainment, and of course, everybody has their special YouTuber. It can be car YouTuber, it can be whatever, celebrity entertainment. Music. But we also go on YouTube if we want to fix the washing machine ourselves or something. So if you have a specific problem, or you want to, you do research, we want to find out how does
this and this work,
social media or whatever,
how to this and this.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we've seen if we make more, and it shouldn't be only that, but some of the more topical stuff that we've done tends to do a little better than just some of the more, let's call it vlog type stuff or behind the scenes stuff, because it is more searchable, because it has those keywords maybe that manufacturer in there. So just something to keep in mind, I think. All right, then LinkedIn. I think you have a lot more experience on LinkedIn than I have, but
I mean, LinkedIn, wherever it came from or wherever it started, it's not that anymore. LinkedIn is basically Facebook 2014. It's basically the same thing. It's very easy to get a lot of reach, and there's a more of a business tone. It's less casual, because it started as a professional network where people go when they look for a job or something. Very high quality people on LinkedIn, I feel. I get a lot of follow requests and messages and some spammy stuff as well, but it's a good platform, and it's easy to reach a lot of people on LinkedIn at the moment. This is why it's a good idea to do your land grab there, because like Facebook in 2012 to 14, like Instagram in 2013 to 16, there is times when it's easier to reach a lot of people, and maybe this is something I just explained it on the German one, I think. You want to explain it here?
Sure.
Why there is certain times when you have lots of reach easier and
sometimes you don't. So basically, I took an economics class. So
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's supply and demand pretty much is what it is. So you have a platform, whatever it is, IG, Facebook.
All the same principle.
Something new. It's the same principle for pretty much everything. Where you have people that supply content, post pictures, videos, text, podcasts, whatever. Then you have people who consume, who demand content. And if that is balanced, then you have a good amount of content for a good amount of people, so it all is kind of even.
It's a grown platform.
It's a very grown-up platform.
Yeah.
YouTube would be a great example. There's a ton of people watching. There's also a ton of creators that try to make it.
YouTube is very grown because the average person uploading a YouTube video will get 10 views.
Yeah, so very hard to break through. And then we actually can go on right over to the next bracket right here is TikTok, which I think...
Both LinkedIn and TikTok applies what you are going to say in a second.
Now. So, which is, there's more supply than demand, I think is pretty much the easiest way to put it.
No, the other way around. It's the other way around.
Oh yeah, there's more demand than supply. Never mind. Fuck that one up good, but there's more demand than supply. And so a lot of people want to watch content. You know, a lot of kids are on TikTok. But
I mean,
a lot of people watching, not a lot of people making content.
If we stick to TikTok, for me, that's relatively easy to explain because compared to posting a selfie on Insta or posting a political rant on Facebook
or Twitter
or a one-sentence thing on Twitter, creating a TikTok video is relatively hard.
It's not rocket science, but relatively speaking.
I cannot go into my daughter's room when she's producing for TikTok. If I knock the door, I hear, I'm producing TikTok, sorry, I can't now. And so, it takes a long time. Yeah. It requires a big technical, lots of lights and stuff. And
I wouldn't say it requires, but it helps. So you can also make a TikTok on your phone, just press record. But still relatively more difficult than posting a duck face selfie on Instagram.
Absolutely.
So that's why right now TikTok, only video. And
they're entertaining, I have to say. You know, we're really getting into the...
Yeah.
I mean, I've been on there and musically I've also liked, but you can get hooked and it's not kids anymore, not just kids.
Not just kids.
I watch my vintage car content on there and it's aging up at the moment. And to break through with your own content, you have to really get into the mindset of the platform.
But out of my own experience, it's still so much easier than
from the two of us,
any other platform.
From the two of us, he's the superstar on TikTok. Maybe you can give people
So superstar might be a little bit out there, but so I've tried to do the whole Instagram, YouTube thing for a while now.
For your own personal.
I'm talking about my own personal channels right now, and it's difficult. It requires a lot of time. And TikTok, it was like, okay, uploaded like 10 videos, 12 videos maybe. Then I had an idea, okay, I'm going to take something that was already popular on the platform, singing cover, and I'm going to do a whole band arrangement with it. You know, music production is kind of what I can do.
You downloaded the music and then out of an a cappella thing made a big arrangement.
Right.
Okay.
And I uploaded that, and within not even a month, maybe like 3.5 weeks, something like that, it now has over 250,000 plays and 45,000 likes, which is insane because I had like 300 followers at the point.
And now?
It's around, you mean followers?
The followers?
I think 3,500.
Okay.
Within a month.
That's a good start, yeah.
So it takes you years to do that on YouTube if you're an average looking dude like me. Very average. God, so average.
And maybe try it not with modeling, but with guitar playing.
Yeah, I think my guitar playing is better than my modeling skills. Anyways, and just the other day I told a dude, hey, I know TikTok might seem like it's just kids, but try it. And his first video got like 3,000 plays and 300 likes. It's a land grab. It's right there. It's free.
It's aging up, and you'll be very sorry if in
Real estate.
It's free real estate. Thank you.
if in 5 years it's the latest shit, and you have to have a big TikTok account to sell stuff to whatever 18 to 24, and you don't have it, and you will feel sorry that you haven't acted on what we've just tried ourselves.
Yeah. So maybe in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, Instagram might be the mom and dad platform. You never know.
I think it already is.
I think it's already very much starting. Yeah.
It's not the grandma platform yet.
No, that's Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook. Generalization, but TikTok, right there.
Yep.
All we can say. And the thing is, I don't think anybody has figured it out yet. In reality.
I think TikTok themselves haven't figured out what they are.
No.
But that's the interesting thing about it. Because Instagram is not a platform for photographers and filters anymore.
No.
You can put a filter on something, but it's not a photographer's platform.
No, it's a culture.
Lifestyle
And culture platform. Yeah. Nobody knows what TikTok is yet. Like you said, TikTok doesn't know what it is yet and where it's going to go in the future.
Yep.
But just do TikTok.
Yep.
Let's go over to the next one. That is Spotify. What are we planning on doing with Spotify?
Playlists.
That's right.
I mean, CDs, they still sell a few in Germany, but the rest of the world, I think America...
It pretty much closed that chapter.
It's Spotify and a little bit of Apple Music.
I think SoundCloud is more for like the upcoming and underground thing.
Discovery.
Music discovery, yeah. I think Spotify's the player right
big
here.
Question is, we all know it's very easy to get your finished master onto Spotify, but it's very difficult to get a lot of streams on the platform. And
again, mature music platform.
Yep.
Spotify.
And it's not so much different compared to the other platforms. The tool you use on Spotify is playlists.
Yeah.
You supply people with hopefully what you have, taste.
Your own taste, whatever that may be. Yeah.
Different niches, whatever. Yeah. If you have a brand, it's easier. You know, the Nike whatever playlist will have it easier to gain reach compared to whatever.
My playlist. Yeah. But that's what we're trying to do. And like we said, everything that's over on the far right side here.
It's more complicated.
And also like a little further down the list for us, I would say. So we really started out with...
Yeah. My main goal for this list was there is stuff that's easier than other stuff. Mm-hmm. And let's not put the complicated before the easy stuff. And because we have a community already that we've built for many years, why not serve the community before always trying to get bigger, more complicated, new platforms?
New followers, more followers.
So this shouldn't require all day, but it's something to do every day.
Yeah, for every single one of us.
And then every company has to develop, build new products, gain new customers, go into new territories, new apps and stuff. And that's very important too. But let's not put...
The one ahead of the other one?
Wasn't there the cart before the horse? If that's correct, then you have to buy me a drink.
Cool. I think we kind of went through the whole thing. WhatsApp, I think probably going to skip that because that's a very European thing.
It is, yeah.
It's not... I think iMessage is more the thing in America. But for us, that's still relatively important. But that's just, I think, an overview of where we think we should be heading towards.
Yeah, if you have questions in the comments, send us a DM. We're happy to jump into the DMs, slide into the DMs.
Slide into our DMs. Yeah.
And that's it. That's what we thought about today. So we thought it's definitely worth sharing with you guys, even though there's no EQ on it.
Not yet. We'll do that. All right.
All right.
That's
Good
it.
work.
Always a pleasure. See you soon.
Mitch, you can stop the stream so we can upload it to all of the platforms.
Stop it now. Mitch.